Hello everyone, in this issue I'm sharing the latest finger-pushing cards from Enlightenment. Floating Light. This time I built a super random version of the peak material. This version has already been released in PI material before. The first time I didn't get one. This time I finally managed to grab one that everyone can hear. You should know the glitter of super paragraphs. It's actually an enhanced version of the floating cloud segment version. If you already own Fuyun, is it still worth buying Fuguang? After watching this video, I believe everyone will have an answer in mind. Let's start with the demolition. Look at the exterior. The overall design of Fuguang continues Kaiwu's consistent minimalist style. This time, the look changed from rounded to square. As before, the small dots next to the opening logo indicate. This is the paragraph version. Before I got started this time, let's take it apart and take a look at its structure first. Just like the previous floating clouds, just break them apart. We see that by default it is filled with 3 beads. Then the 3 beads landed on the long Dunluo orbit. This track is very distinctive, and the other is relatively densely packed across the way. Combining the tracks can create quite a few possibilities. Additionally, it proves that the magnetic patch can be removed and replaced. Kaiwu has already open-sourced the patch data, so any third party can create it. You can buy your favorite patches to swap and play with. Alright, let's try it out with the default configuration first. The feel of this long section in previous push and layout sections. I really can't find anything like that. As the main developer Dev explained in the introduction video, this track brings a unique sense of rhythm. This rhythm makes the glitter's driving stroke feel less monotonous, and it has a lively and dynamic vibe. Next, let's switch to a configuration similar to Run-In. Try placing 2 beads on a normal track section. Because the floating light incorporates a hollow design, it also features high and low frequency sections. The sound of floating light is more three-dimensional than floating clouds. Let's compare the floating cloud, which also uses the peak material. The difference in sound is very obvious. Next, let's continue to change the configuration and switch to a Grandpa DAO. The opponent, then replace it with glass columns and tracks. The choice is 2 beads, one side landing on the long track segment. This is also a rhythmic feel, but the rhythm and mold arrangement are slightly different. This time it was a kind of dun-dun feeling. Alright, next we keep the bead springs unchanged. Flip the lid over. Place the 2 beads on this side on the regular track section. This time it becomes a dense touch with high and low tones. Let's continue adjusting the configuration by moving the spring in the middle to the opposite side, then switch to glass bead track selection. The other is placing 2 beads on a regular segment track. This creates a high and low note similar to Fuyun, but with a different rhythm. Alright, let's keep the configuration the same. The introduction is flipped. This is yet another kind of pitch with different rhythms. Fuguang's rhythm changes are truly rich. Finally, let me talk about whether the floating light disintegrates in the smell. Personally, I almost never disassemble it with normal knowledge. Unless she deliberately made a name for herself like this, she would fall apart. Overall, my assessment is that as long as you like playing pushing cards, whether you have floating clouds or not, this Super Paragraphs floating light is a must-have product. Kaiwu has maintained its usual high standards in track design this time. Especially when using it as a super paragraph for various combinations, it brings a sense of rhythmic change to push beats, letting me play pushing rhythms. For the first time, I played with the beauty of cyberpunk silver threads. Alright, that's it for this video. See you next time.